Welcome to MystifyMe True Crime and Enigmatic Investigations, where we delve into the darkest corners of reality and beyond. In our new series, Paranormal Crimes Where the Supernatural Meets True Crime, we explore cases where the line between fact and the paranormal blurs, leaving us questioning what we thought we knew. In this episode, we unravel the chilling tale of the Bell Witch, a supernatural force allegedly responsible for the death of a man in Tennessee. Was this a case of vengeful spirits or something even more sinister? Join us as we investigate the truth behind one of America's most enduring and terrifying legends. The story of the Bell Witch is one of the most enduring and chilling tales of the supernatural in American folklore. It begins in the early 19th century in the rural community of Adams, Tennessee, where the Bell family became the focal point of strange and terrifying events. These occurrences were attributed to an unseen force that would come to be known as the Bell Witch. The legend is deeply rooted in local history, and the events that unfolded have left a lasting mark on the region, with some even believing that the Bell Witch was responsible for the death of John Bell, the patriarch of the Bell family. The Bell family, consisting of John Bell, his wife Lucy, and their children, were well-respected members of the Adams community. John Bell was a successful farmer and a devoutly religious man, known for his honesty and integrity. In 1804, the family moved from North Carolina to Tennessee, where they purchased a large tract of land along the Red River. For several years, the Bells lived peacefully in their new home until strange and inexplicable occurrences began to disrupt their lives. The disturbances started innocuously enough, with knocking sounds on the walls and doors of the Bell home. At first, the family dismissed these noises as the creaking of an old house or the work of mischievous animals. However, the sounds soon escalated in intensity and frequency, becoming impossible to ignore. Objects in the house began to move on their own, and strange voices could be heard whispering in the dark. The Bells were unnerved, but still tried to rationalize what was happening. It wasn't long before the entity, which would later be identified as the Bell Witch, began to directly interact with the family. The children, particularly the youngest daughter Betsy, were subjected to physical assaults. Betsy would often wake up with welts and bruises on her body, the result of being slapped, pinched, or even pulled out of bed by an unseen force. The attacks on Betsy were relentless, leading her to live in constant fear. As the disturbances grew more intense, the Bell family sought help from their neighbors. Word of the haunting spread quickly, and people from all over the area came to witness the strange events for themselves. Among those who visited the Bell home was a local schoolteacher named Richard Powell, who had a particular interest in the paranormal. Despite the skepticism of some, Powell and many others witnessed the phenomenon firsthand and were convinced that something supernatural was at work. The entity began to communicate more openly, using a disembodied voice to engage with the family and their visitors. It claimed to be a spirit, although its true identity remained a mystery. At times, the spirit identified itself as the ghost of a Native American, while at other times it claimed to be a witch or a demon. The spirit seemed to take a particular interest in John Bell, often tormenting him more than any other family member. Over time, the entity revealed its name, Kate. It claimed to be the spirit of a woman named Kate Batts, a neighbor of the Bells who had been wronged by John Bell in a land dispute. Although the historical accuracy of this claim is questionable, the spirit's identification as Kate or Old Kate Batts's witch became widely accepted. The witch seemed to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for John Bell, vowing to kill him before her torment would end. John Bell's health began to deteriorate soon after the witch made its deadly threat. He was afflicted with a mysterious illness that caused him to suffer from seizures, difficulty swallowing, and a general weakness that left him bedridden for long periods. Despite seeking help from doctors, no one could diagnose or cure his condition. The witch would often mock him, laughing at his suffering and taunting him about his impending death. As John Bell's health worsened, the witch's attacks grew more vicious. It would curse him, berate him, and subject him to terrifying visions. On several occasions, the witch would shout at John, telling him that his end was near. The rest of the family was powerless to stop the entity, and they could only watch in horror as John Bell's condition declined. The witch also continued to torment Betsy Bell, preventing her from marrying her childhood sweetheart, Joshua Gardner. Whenever Betsy and Joshua tried to spend time together, the witch would lash out, causing them to break off their engagement. Betsy, who was already traumatized by years of abuse at the hands of the spirit, eventually gave up on the relationship altogether, much to the witch's delight. On December 20, 1820, John Bell was found unconscious in his bed by his family. He had slipped into a coma and the family was unable to wake him. Beside his bed they found a small vial of an unknown black liquid. The Bell Witch's voice suddenly filled the room, gleefully announcing that she had poisoned John Bell and that he would never recover. In a final act of cruelty, the witch bragged that she had taken the vial from John's medicine cabinet and administered the poison herself. John Bell never regained consciousness and died later that day. His death was officially attributed to poisoning, but the true nature of the substance in the vial was never determined. The Bell family, along with many in the community, believed that the witch had indeed fulfilled her promise to kill John Bell. At John Bell's funeral, the witch's presence was palpable. As the mourners gathered to pay their respects, the disembodied voice of the witch began to sing bawdy songs and laugh uncontrollably. The spectacle left the attendees horrified and convinced that the witch was still very much in control. After John Bell's death, the disturbances in the Bell home began to subside. The witch claimed that she would return in 7 years, which she allegedly did, though her presence was much less intense. By the mid-1830s, the Bell Witch seemed to disappear entirely, leaving the family and the community to rebuild their lives in the aftermath of her terror. The legend of the Bell Witch has endured for over 2 centuries, becoming one of the most famous ghost stories in American history. The story has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and even films. The Bell Witch Cave, located near the original Bell homestead, has become a popular tourist attraction, drawing visitors who are curious about the legend and hoping to experience the paranormal for themselves. Despite the many retellings and embellishments of the story, the truth of what happened to the Bell family remains elusive. Some believe that the events were the result of mass hysteria, while others suggest that the Bell Witch was a real and malevolent spirit. Skeptics argue that the story has been exaggerated over time, with the more sensational elements added for dramatic effect. One theory posits that the Bell Witch story was a way for the community to explain the unexplained and to cope with the tragedies that befell the Bell family. The land dispute between John Bell and Kate Batts, which the spirit claimed as its origin, may have been a real and bitter conflict that was later woven into the narrative of the haunting. Others suggest that the Bell family's experiences were a manifestation of psychological stress, possibly exacerbated by the isolation and hardships of frontier life. However, for those who believe in the supernatural, the story of the Bell Witch serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of meddling with the unknown. The idea that a spirit could exact such a devastating toll on a family and even cause the death of a man is a terrifying prospect. The Bell Witch legend also reflects the fears and superstitions of the time when belief in witchcraft and the occult was widespread. In modern times, the Bell Witch legend has taken on new life through popular culture. It has been referenced in television shows, movies, and even video games. The story's themes of revenge, the supernatural, and the unexplained continue to captivate audiences, making the Bell Witch one of the most enduring figures in American folklore. Paranormal investigators have also taken an interest in the Bell Witch story, with some claiming to have recorded evidence of the witch's presence. Electronic voice phenomena, EVP, strange lights, and unexplained sounds have all been reported in and around the Bell Witch Cave. These investigations have only added to the mystery and intrigue surrounding the legend. The story of the Bell Witch also raises questions about the nature of belief and the power of storytelling. The tale has been passed down through generations, with each retelling adding new layers to the narrative. Whether or not the events actually occurred as described, the story of the Bell Witch has become a part of the cultural fabric of Tennessee and the broader American South. The question of whether the Bell Witch was real or simply a product of imagination remains unanswered. What is clear, however, is that the legend has left an indelible mark on the history of Adams, Tennessee, and on the minds of those who hear it. The story of the Bell Witch is a reminder of the power of the unknown and the enduring nature of folklore. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the tale of the Bell Witch is a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie just beyond our understanding. It is a story that continues to inspire fear, curiosity, and wonder, ensuring that the legend of the Bell Witch will never be forgotten. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the eerie tale of the Bell Witch. If you found this story as intriguing as we did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to MystifyMe, True Crime and Enigmatic Investigations for more deep dives into the world where the supernatural meets true crime. Be sure to check out our other videos in the Paranormal Crimes playlist and let us know in the comments what mysterious cases you'd like us to cover next. Stay curious, stay mystified, and until next time, keep questioning the shadows.